So, gonna be making baby Groots with some succulents as I am talking about possibly quitting or thinking about changing career paths. So currently, a little bit of background story. I am in my second year teaching, and I teach middle school, 5th through 8th grade math and social studies. Now, you might be saying, well, why would you want to quit teaching? You get summers off, you have 3 total months off. But yeah, we do, but those 3 months are us pretty much recouping. We are recouping from all the stress, being overwhelmed, dealing with kids' behaviors, parents who don't want to do anything. So that's a lot of stress and a lot of responsibility for one person. And for that one person that we have to deal with, we have average of, over 20 kids in the classroom. Or sometimes we have a little bit less than that, but we have to deal with a lot of behavioral issues. So with that being said, a lot of us, we have to do jobs that consist of more than one person. So a good example of this is in my classroom, I have 8th and 7th combined, and then I have 5 and 6 combined. So that means while I'm teaching 5th grade, I have to find something else for 6th grade to do. While I'm teaching 6th grade, 5th grade has to do something. Same thing for 7th and 8th. Things that they need to work on, the work that you give them to work on in a classroom may be too hard for them, so you got to accommodate, you got to modify the work. And because of that is, again, is more work for one person to do. They have a lot of behavioral issues, meaning they cause a lot of issues, they curse, they get in trouble, they don't listen, they don't do their work. And because of that, those students who are actually there to learn can't learn because I am too busy dealing with behavioral issues. Now, because of that, that is one reason why I literally almost quit the very first week. I kid you not, went to Planet Fitness after the first day or second day, I forgot what day it was, but I know it was goddamn in the first week. I went to Planet Fitness and I was gonna work out, but besides me working out, I sat in my car sobbing. And I am not one emotional person. I do not really cry. I rarely cry. I rarely show my feelings or emotions. I was in Planet Fitness and I was sobbing. I was really contemplating and deciding, what am I doing with my life? Why did I decide to pick teaching? Why didn't I get into the one job my one friend who is making now over 6 figures? Like, I was really at a bad state. Now, I'm not saying all schools are bad. Also, here's the Groot. You can see it, the little succulent. There it is. Gonna be putting these together. Not all schools are like this, but at the same time, more and more students are having behavioral issues. And I don't feel like it's on them necessarily. I mean, yes, obviously it is, but at the same time, I also feel as if it goes back to the environment, where they come from. Now, the students that I teach, they don't come from necessarily the best neighborhood. They have rough lives outside of school, and a lot of times they tend to bring that stuff inside school. And then that's how a lot of the drama and a lot of issues occur, because they bring that stuff inside to the school as a completely miss. So that's another issue that teachers have to deal with. Now, I know I'm ranting about what teachers, or at least my experience, but to back up my statement, the turnover rate for teachers have increased roughly 25% within the last year. 25%. A lot of times it looks good on the outside, but on the inside it is not good. There is strikes going on. There are protests going on. Nowadays you have to worry about school shootings. You have to worry about safety. Your safety, kids' safety. You have to teach by the curriculum. If you don't teach by the curriculum and the kids don't do well in state tests, guess what? That is a bad reflection not only on the school, but on you as a teacher, that you did not teach them what they needed. And this is something that schools are seriously struggling with, and turnover rates for teachers are getting worse and worse every single year. And I am at the point, yes, it's only my second year. Yes, I don't have a lot of background. As some of these teachers that have tenure, that means 10 years or more in a classroom. But at the same time, it is not like what it used to be back in the day when I was a kid, when I was learning. And because of that, to me, I feel like the school system is going backwards instead of going forwards. But at the same time, it doesn't help our attention span. Our attention span, I don't know if you've seen a previous video. If you've seen that previous video, go check it out. It was one of my shorts. We have an attention span less than the goldfish. Our attention span is like 9 seconds, whereas a goldfish is 10 seconds. And that all has to come back to technology. Technology is hindering our attention span with TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. Those are making our attention span less and less. So as teachers, we have to do this every single time and hook them. And kids get off task easily. They get distracted easily. And if you're a kid watching this or a teenager, you probably will either agree or disagree. And because of that, it is a lot harder to incorporate technology because kids use technology the wrong way. Good example is in my classroom, we have computers. And on those computers, what do they do instead of doing their work? They're watching Netflix. They are on Instagram communicating or talking bad to one another on social media. They're watching TikToks, they're watching YouTube Shorts rather than doing their work. And this is something that not only I'm dealing with, but probably a whole bunch of other teachers that are dealing with who have technology in their classrooms. And I just feel like there has to be something done as to the educational system with the higher ups, as there's a big chunk. Because a lot of those higher ups, believe it or not, they have never stepped foot in a classroom before, minus when they were in their school system, going through elementary, middle, high school, and so on. They have never stepped in the school system and physically looked in the school and be like, oh wow, this actually has to change, or maybe we need to incorporate that. They have not done that. They're just going, blowing smoke out their butts as to what they should and should not do. And at that point, it's to why are we looking at possibly putting money somewhere else rather than here? Oh, I just spilled a lot of dirt. As to not, fund the educational system where that's needed, because we are not only funding the educational system, you are funding the future, the new generation of this country. And I generally believe, sorry I'm going on rant, but I seriously generally believe that instead of putting money in other countries, yes, they're allies and everything, but instead of doing all this, sending billions and billions of dollars overseas, put that money in the educational system where it belongs, where a lot of these kids can get a lot of the help that they need, a lot of new technology, a lot of new resources that they can use. Because believe it or not, a lot of schools don't even have computers. A lot of schools don't even have projectors. A lot of schools are becoming outdated. A lot of schools are falling behind in the advancement of technology. But at the same time, technology is not being used appropriately, if that makes sense. There's that double-edged sword. Now, I know I'm going on a rant as to why or why not, about the teaching system. Now, you could say you work in, say, a steel manufacturer. Well, maybe you could complain about that the laws are unfair or the pay is unfair, the amount of hours you have to work are unfair. Again, this is not just teaching. It's with every single job that is currently going on. We are lacking in support from our government. Now, again, I'm not spieling about government. Maybe I am a little bit, maybe I'm not. But at the same time, something needs to be done because burnout rate is a thing. Burnout rate is increasing, not only in education, but in many, many other jobs. People don't want to work nowadays. People just want to sit home and get paid by the government, or they just want to sit home and be the baby daddy that watches their kids, or the baby mama that stays and watches their kids, stay-at-home parent and not get paid. That's all fine and dandy, but at the same time, how are you going to pay those bills? How are you going to support that child growing up? You can't. You need money, but that money is going towards something that is redundant that we don't even need to be part of. That money should be going back into our, I keep hitting my mic, I don't know if that's in the way. That money should be going back into our educational system to help our future generation. This plant looks pretty good. Because as you notice, I'm putting plants together. Why? Because me as a teacher, I make a decent amount, I can't complain about that. But at the same time, I do this as a little side hustle, making like baby Groots and Bulbasaurs and bamboo to help, pay student loans. Because again, when you go into a 4-year degree, you have debt to pay. And at the same time, when you hit that burnout, you want to change jobs. You want to change what you want to do. Maybe you want to, like low-key, I kind of want to start like filming myself, going on these rants, talking about current issues, talking about my daily life as a teacher, daily life as a 25-year-old of the experience I have been in my 20s. But at the same time, I can't like just get up and leave that job because I have an apartment to pay for. I have gas to pay for. I have groceries to pay for. So the burnout is real, and with the burnout causes depression, causes anxiety, causes eating disorders, causes so many health issues that we are not talking about. We are not talking about that on the news. We are talking about all the idiocracy that is currently going on, and that news should be covering. This is actually a really nice plant right here that I'm going to be putting in the Bulbasaur. We should be talking about all these issues, like everything going on. And the biggest issue that we seriously need to work on is our educational system is broken. Yes, it is broken. Now, with that being said, the ways to fix it, start funding it, start providing help, new curriculum to schools that don't have the new curriculum. And I just want to be able to come home and be like, man, I had a great day at work. The kids were so great. I didn't have no behavioral issues. Everything was fine. That's not going to happen. That is seriously not going to happen. And the reason why that is not going to happen, because more and more behavioral issues are occurring. More and more people are caring less. Students are caring less about their lives as to they don't care about learning. They just want to be at home playing Fortnite and video games. They just want to not do anything. And to me, that kind of is upsetting, because I know damn sure when I was a child and I ended up saying, I don't want to do this. I don't care. I don't care if I get in trouble. That's not going to affect me. I won't get grounded. I would get the belt from my dad. My mom would take me to games and say, oh no, you're not playing, you're just watching. I got punished for the things I did wrong. These kids nowadays, parents don't even lay up. Obviously you can't lay a finger on them, but there's no disciplinary actions. And this is why I'm really considering possibly thinking about another career other than teaching. all these factors that is not even in the building that I'm working at, come in that building that affect me as a teacher. Not only as I am trying to teach them the curriculum that is sometimes pointless or doesn't even, help them because it's too high in advance for the kids who have IEPs, for the kids who are behind in learning because of COVID. And I have to break that down, but yet they still are down here. On top of dealing with them being middle schoolers, so dealing with all the issues that they have going on top of the outside lives that are going on top of family matter that's going on top of my personal life that I have going on. All this stuff stacks up as me as a teacher, and I am one person, and me as one person, I have all this weight on my shoulders as to I am walking around the school with thousands and thousands of pounds of weight. And again, I'm not the only teacher. There are many, many teachers out there that are struggling with this, are dealing with the same thing. We are burning out. And again, I'm only in my second year as a teacher, and I am feeling this type of way, which really goes to show that something needs to be done. Because I see the little picture, but I also see the big picture is what's going on. And what's going on is not healthy, not only for the teachers that are in the building, but also for the kids. Because how can they learn when us teachers are feeling all this stress and being overwhelmed and causing us to get a burnout to where we don't want to teach anymore? When our passion is kids, our passion is teaching and learning. How can we do what we love when we have all this weight on our shoulders? And when we're still trying to push forward, and we're pushing forward, and it seems like we're getting slower and slower and slower to the point where we're starting going backwards and backwards and backwards. So there's my rant for you guys. My rant is as a teacher, not only a teacher, but I'm just referencing teaching because I am at one. Something needs to be done. Whether it's in our government system, whether it's in the educational system, you as a person, as yourself, need possibly to rethink as to what you are doing or not doing. Needs to be changed. Something needs to be changed, because at this rate, more and more people will be burnt out as teachers, as people working in industries that vary from tech to the steel manufacturers. Something needs to change, because at this rate, the United States, I don't know why I said United States, but you as a human being is going to be burnt out and not feel happy. So I don't know what you feel about this rant, but if you liked it, leave a comment below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification for more videos, more rants like this. In the meantime, I am going to finish up making my grants, because me as a teacher need to be paying some bills, like a lot. The student loans are like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So hopefully my groups, pay off this weekend as I have a show. See you in the next video.